everybody, Robert Bodden with WrungNeck Decoy. What I wanted to do with this video is we are getting ready to launch the program. So I wanted to get into some details on the decoy, how it's going to show up in the box for you, and then a couple of steps to rig the decoy. So here we go. The WrungNeck Decoy is a two-piece item. So you can see here, you're going to open up the box and you're going to have one head here with the keel assembly on the bottom, and you're going to have the body, and the keel assembly is going to pretty much resemble what you got over here underneath the head. So obviously you guys can kind of look, you've seen some of the videos of how it works. You put your decoy body in the water, the head goes in, and now you've got a wind wave activated motion that is very realistic and very effective in bringing the birds in where you want them to come in to take your shot. So how do you rig your WrungNeck Decoy when you get it? What you have, since it does not work on batteries, you don't have to worry about wires or any of that. This is your battery. So it's a 1/4 inch bullet weight. Everybody that's familiar with this knows you can go into your fishing tackle area of your sporting goods store and you're going to find your 1/4 inch ballast weight. Okay, once you buy that, you don't have to replace it obviously like batteries, so it's really nice to have that type of a format. So finished head, so you're going to see out of the box you're going to have a flat black head and a flat white body. Then you're going to finish up the decoy how you want it, if you want it to be a Canada or if you want it to be a Brant. And so what it takes is it takes 18 inches of 1/4 inch bullet weight through the patent pending keel to ballast this head. So this is a muscle that's going to always bring your head back to point A when the wind and the waves hit it. Okay? So you don't want to cheat with this. You want to make sure that you have enough weight where if you have a constant wind hitting this head and you have sway, there's going to be enough muscle here to move that head around and give you that natural varied motion that you're after. Okay? So that's how you do that. On the body, what happens is you can cheat, and you can probably see here that I went 3/16 inch bullet weight, and you just go long enough to extend past the keel, and then you bend this underneath, and then guess what it gives you? It gives you a port area to anchor your decoy. Okay? So that's kind of the basics of how that works. There's a couple of things that you want to take into consideration, and I've got a couple of things here. If I run into really rough weather, so I'm going to back up here and just kind of tell you where's a WrungNeck Decoy not going to work or function. It's in conditions where you have 5 mph wind or less. So when you get to 5 mph and above, your head's going to start to move. When you get up to 18 miles an hour, these heads are going to be shaking like dogs. And that might scare you a little bit to think about that. And it scared me too. I thought it was going to be a deal breaker. But no, it's a huge attraction. The birds think there's a feeding frenzy on the water, and they want to muscle their way down into that, and so it's a huge advantage for you as far as motion. And the other thing is, obviously, I'm trying to launch a decoy here, and I picked the wariest of waterfowl on motion, which is a Canada. This motion will not flare geese, so you can be confident in that. So a couple of things. Mentioning where this decoy won't work too. Obviously if you have ice conditions where everything's locked up, this thing's going to lock up in the body, so it won't work. Okay. The other area that it won't work is if you have constant current like a river. it's going to lay this head out into one direction, and that's not ideal. So ideal conditions are varied wind conditions, wave motion, you're ideal there. All right, let's talk about different ways to rig your WrungNeck Decoy. So we talked a little bit about how the head in rough conditions could have a chance to jump out of the harness of the body. So a couple of ways you can rig your head so that can diminish that chance of happening is I just do a little bit of a dropper weight right here, hook that onto the head and neck assembly, and now in rough wave conditions and wind, if the head wants to come out of that body harness, it's going to have to drag that weight with it. So that'll hold that down, and you won't have to worry too much about that. Okay? The other aspect is when we get into very rough conditions and big waves and you got the long lines that you're dealing with. I don't know how the long line on this product is really going to work because I'm not using it as much as some of you guys on the coast side. So what I was thinking is you can take this drop with a long line hook, put that onto your head and neck assembly, and then just hook this onto your line that's going into your long line. So hope that makes sense, but that was a couple of things that I was playing with there, and that should help you manage the position of your head in the WrungNeck body. All right, so where are we going from here on the WrungNeck Decoy launch? What we're going to do is we have the first run of product coming out, and we're trying to get an entry into the Utah State Fair, and then we'll give our contact information to the people that are local. We're just going to start a soft launch that way, and then we're going to show up at the Youth Waterfowl Festival that's coming up here in September, and we'll have these in the water and do a demonstration and show everybody how the decoy works. So we'll do that there. If we have success and we are fortunate enough to get it lined up with an online waterfowl retailer, we'll do that. We'll get all the information out to you, and that's what we're hoping will happen because we're trying to do everything we can to get this concept in the hands of the waterfowler. I think it's going to be a game changer for you because it was for me. Over 43 years of waterfowl hunting, and all the decoys that I used over that time are cherished heirlooms for me. I don't even have room in my boat anymore for them because I've got to have every decoy that I hunt with has got to be a WrungNeck concept. So if that changed my format and my perception of a statuesque decoy, I think it's going to be a mind blower for you guys too once that you get to try it. So 2 years ago, first season of hunting with it, shot over 16 different species of waterfowl, tremendous success in the open seas down in Mexico, hunted extensively on the shores of the Great Salt Lake Marsh all the way up to the Bear River Refuge. I've tried to find out if there was any aspect of this that would deter you from bringing in waterfowl where you want to bring them in and have an opportunity to bag them, and I just can't find one. So good luck, and I'll keep you guys posted, and I just hope I'm able to get this out in front of you and you're going to be able to pick up a WrungNeck here in the near future. All right, so one final aspect that we wanted to talk about or point out on the decoy is the lines of the decoy. So when I was putting the prototype together, got it all set, went off to the company, they did the 3D renderings, and then they went to production from there. But what I did is when I cut out that section, I didn't scrap it, but I kind of put it aside, that piece that I took out. And finally, one time I wised up and realized I could take that piece, build my head and neck assembly on it, and now I had a nice, relaxed, forward look to the decoy. And I think that really helped the lines a lot. So we stuck with that on the lines. When the production came out, we got the piece from the manufacturer. It did create a little bit of an issue because now it was forward weighted. So that's why most of your 18 inches on your bullet weight has to be back on the rear end of the keel assembly. And you can see I've just got a short bend right here. So that's kind of a technique for rigging. I wanted to make sure I pointed that out. And so I wanted to thank everybody for all of your support, all the encouragement, the response to the videos on YouTube. It's been fantastic, and I can't thank you enough, and I'm really excited to see other people actually hunting with this concept. So thank you very much. Appreciate you.